Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sport G, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
Oh, we have returned. It's 149. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I am the Iceman.
And Iced, we got a new World Series champion yet? No, not yet. As we're recording this, there's like
I mean, you could call it. You could call it.
Yeah, it's bottom of the ninth,
the
6-2 Nats. You know, unless there is a 5-run ninth inning here for the Astros, Nationals taking down the World Series. And I'm pissed because I didn't get my Scherzer versus Verlander game. How can I not have those guys face each other?
I don't know.
What was tonight? Scherzer and Greinke? Ooh, great if it was 2012.
Well, I know Scherzer got pulled after 5.
Mm-hmm.
He let in 2 runs. So
Yeah, but like I was saying, guys, I don't think it would have mattered who pitched who in this because the Nationals came out firing. It didn't matter who the Astros pitcher was. They took him downtown.
Yeah, it is. All they had to do is get rid of Bryce Harper, and now they win.
Is it one of those situations?
And I don't even think that.
Go ahead, Rich.
I was going to say, is that one of those situations where maybe he was like such a lightning rod for nonsense that it like, for better or for worse, the team kind of revolved around him, and then when he left, they could actually, come together as a team because it wasn't Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals?
Maybe they all rallied around the fact that they hated him.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, he's not exactly the easiest guy to get along with at times. So, but I mean, whatever. It's sports, you're dealing with big egos and overconfidence and all that. That's part of what makes these guys the athletes that they are.
Yeah, but I know you guys' answer is championship always. But Bryce Harper can rest comfortably on the bet of money he got paid to move.
Oh, yeah, but is that bet of money getting him into Cooperstown?
Unfortunately, Chris, seriously, I don't think today's players give a shit. I think it's all about the almighty dollar.
Well, if that's all he cares about, he definitely fucking went the right route.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a World Series championship ring and all of that in Cooperstown, I'm sure would be great. But once again, if you don't make it, the money he got paid to move will let him rest very comfortably. Let me tell you.
Oh, for sure. Sure Bryce Harper's going to be just
not
fine.
for nothing, he could have he's got enough money to build his own shrine, have his own Hall of Fame jacket made, his own bust made in his basement. He could buy the championship ring, and that's just the money that he carries around in his pocket. Okay? Yeah, I really don't think it's about the championship for these guys anymore.
I'd love to argue with you, but a lot of the attitudes in some of today's current sports guys, I can't. Because they're definitely, I can't argue, there's a lot more of that type of player out there than there used to be. I don't give a shit, just pay me.
Right, it's not just baseball, it's every sport. Hockey, football, basketball. There's very few people that get drafted and stay with that team their whole career. Very few. They're there, but they're very few.
Yeah, but you can't really put that on the fucking.
Well, yeah, some of it's on performance. Their ice.
I mean, that's the free agency. players staying with a whole team their entire career, yes, it happened more often before Curt Flood and free agency and all that shit. But it was that rare air player that stayed with the team. Because if you were just a workhorse player, you know what I'm saying, you got moved around quite a bit. Because the owners could do whatever the fuck they wanted with you. They literally owned your ass. Period. End of story.
Yeah, your Kobe's and your Tom Brady's are far in between.
I'm just trying to think, actually, of anybody that I know that has been drafted and stayed with their team, baseball or elsewhere.
Yeah, Matt Stafford, for now.
Oh, and Mike Allstott retired. They said in the span of his career, only 15 players ended their career with the same team that drafted them and stayed with that team their entire career. He was number 15. So from, 96 to 2007? An 11-year span there. 15 guys either retired or came into the league and then retired and never left the team there that drafted them. It's pretty small.
Yeah.
I mean, and granted, football is a lot more violent sport. I mean, I think even 15 years ago, the average career was like less than 3 years.
Squirrel. We have a world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nationals just struck out the last batter. That's it.
There it is. And Todd said it couldn't be done. I don't think he said it couldn't be done. I think he didn't have faith that they would win it this year. But there you go. They finally got one.
They got one. Bryce Harper doesn't, but he's got the cash. He could buy it.
It just goes to show you, man. Todd said it during the preview this year. You pick them, and they just don't deliver. And at a certain point, you can't pick them anymore. And he wasn't the only one to say that. I've heard that quite a bit from the beginning of the season this year. And I'm just like, there you go. Maybe that's what this team needed. That chip on your shoulder.
Max Scherzer's crying.
Yeah, because he finally got a ring. Another Tiger getting a ring?
Another Tiger, yep.
Does this mean Fernando Rodney got a ring too?
Yep.
Yep, sure did.
Wow.
On the other hand, Astros, they're big shit now, I guess.
I want to know how much of that 2012, 2013 pitching staff has a World Series ring. The starters. Is it all of them now? Verlander's got one. Scherzer's got one. Porcello's got one. David Price has one. God damn, that whole staff went on and won a World Series. Fuck that. God damn it. Now I'm mad.
Yeah, you should be mad. Rodney's got a ring. Everybody has a... Dude, the Detroit Tigers are like the Oprah Winfrey of baseball. And you'll get a ring, and you'll get a ring. Everybody gets a ring.
Just not with us.
Yeah. We'll bring you up and throw you out to where you can get a ring.
Oh. Andrew Miller's on that team.
Of course.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I guess if anything, it tells you that Dombrowski at least had an eye for talent. But he's long gone. But goddamn, ain't that a kick in the ass, Tiger fans?
Yeah, well,
at least now we know they could do it.
I'm pretty sure that.
What is that?
I'm pretty sure this is
3 years that Astros went to the World Series.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure this will be the end of Scherzer saying that 2013 Tigers team was the best team he ever played on.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe not.
I mean, maybe not.
Just saying, just because they won the World Series.
But end of conversation. Done. They won the World Series. What do you mean, here we go?
Just because the ball didn't bounce one way or another for the other team doesn't make them a worse team.
Really? Really? Getting shut out in the World Series? Do you forget 2012? Didn't win a game. That's not the ball bouncing the wrong way there, Ice.
I get you. I'm just saying, all of those people won a World Series, though. Are you calling that coincidence?
I'm saying maybe it was... What's the whole thing? The sum of the parts is greater than the whole, or whatever the fuck you're supposed to say.
you could go there too, but like I've always said, to win a championship and be a massive force of a team, you have to have the right player, the right coach at the right time. Obviously, they had the right players at the right time. Maybe it was the coach.
What, Leland? Are you sure? Are you serious?
Maybe he didn't know how to.
How about all those games where Verlander got no run support? That was like his shtick. His last few years in Detroit, he'd pitch lights out and he'd get no help from the offense.
And Scherzer would go out there and get like, I think 2012, 2013, he was averaging a little over 8 runs of run support every time he went out and pitched for the Tigers, whereas Verlander was getting less than 2.
It's a multifaceted game there.
The team sucked. That's okay.
But it was almost the identical team the next year. Like they brought in David Price for 2013. I think that was the only change in the pitching staff as far as the starters.
So I think they brought him in 2014, actually.
No, wasn't he in Boston by 14? Like when they damn it. God damn it. I'm now starting to realize that whole thing of like if it's over 5 years, it might as well be 10 or 20.
It's 2014.
Oh, wow. All right.
They brought it. Yeah. Yeah, he was still he started the season with the Rays, ended it with the Tigers, spent 2015 to the trade deadline. Then he went to Toronto. In 2016, he signed with Boston. And he's been with them ever since.
Oh, that's right. In 2013, Anibal Sanchez was the star. Another guy got a ring?
Yes.
Another guy got a ring.
It was Verlander, Scherzer, Sanchez, and Porcello.
Yeah.
And then number 5, Pfister. He was number 5.
It's kind of like we've become the Midwest version of the Oakland A's. Because how many times with those Billy Bean teams did they have guys, Johnny Damon, Giambi, leave, go on to win World Series with other teams? I mean, they had quite a few guys who started their career in Oakland and basically Oakland was treated like a triple A team for the rest of the league that can afford these guys.
I'm happy for these guys. I loved them when they played for us. It's a little bittersweet seeing them win though, because it's just like, God damn it, you were on our team.
Well, it's it's getting a little old seeing all these former Tigers win every place else. Like I'm seriously, the first when Verlander got his, that was nice. You know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. But it's getting old now.
Well, with this win though, a lot of old Tigers got theirs. A lot of them.
That's what I'm saying. It's getting old now. I'm over it.
I'm gonna tell you though. Did you guys follow this series at all?
Here and there. Like, I didn't watch any of it, but I, followed and read about it and then watched, like, the game cast on the ESPN app and shit like that. But I know some of the beats. What's that?
Kendrick is a beast.
Yeah, didn't he just hit a home run tonight? Put him over the head, or put him over the edge?
Yeah, but he also has been doing that throughout the playoffs and the series.
He did it all season. He's on my fantasy baseball team. He was a beast all year.
Then you won because he is just a god-awful beast. You can't pitch around him.
Actually, I got third. But but
yeah, he's something to behold, man. He's something to watch.
So I'll
tell you, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. So I guess this is it for baseball till the winter meetings, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which are in like a month. Which baseball? Why does the season need to be 7 months long?
Don't know.
It used to be called the October Classic. It's November and 2 days. I believe there have been a couple years here in the last, a couple series in the last few years here where it actually has spilled into November.
Oh no, it has, because the playoffs went long, like the years that the Boston Red Sox came back on the Yankees.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if they all go to 5 or 7 games, yeah. I mean, do we need the play-in games?
I don't think so.
Like 32 teams playing 162 games a year. isn't enough revenue for you, MLB. You gotta put in one more before the playoffs start. I bitch about it every year. Just the World Series is getting longer and longer, and I'm not sure you're playing the same type of baseball in late October, early November that you're playing in the summer. Call me crazy.
Right. A lot of big names came out of the Nationals, though, but the Astros, I guess that's the team you got to watch for now, right? Going forward.
Are they going to blow it up?
Well, I don't know. It really depends on how the Astros are going to manage this, because now they've won one and they've lost one. They know both sides of the fence now.
Mm-hmm.
So do they keep the people they have and add to it going forward, or do they blow it up and start over? As close as they are for the past, like I said, 2 out of 3 years, I would think they'd keep it together.
Yeah, you don't blow that team up.
I don't think you should.
You're not the Marlins.
I'm just thinking maybe a new Yankees could be forming there. It's one of those teams that were under the radar, nobody paid any attention to, and then all of a sudden they're in the World Series, and people are like, wait, what? What happened?
Well, so I remember, though, when we first started this show, Rich talking about how their farm system was considered one of the best at the time. Right. So I'm not sure how it is now, but I mean, they didn't exactly come out of nowhere. A lot of people who are really into baseball have seen this coming, as far as them being the force that they are now. But, well,
yeah.
Baseball, we'll see you in the spring.
Right. See when the snow melts.
Yeah. So now, football.
Well, speaking of Bryce Harper taking the money, a lot of athletes are going to be able to take the money now.
Yes, the NCAA came out, I believe it was yesterday, and said athletes can now make money off their likeness. Hey, slow down. Now, it's a long time coming, and we talked about it on the Lost Show. It's not like they're instituting a salary system. It's just, like, for example, I'm up around Iowa State this week. I've seen so many billboards with their quarterback on them. Like, I didn't get paid for that.
Right.
It's bullshit. And any other business, my business, your business, Rich's business, listener, your business, if they do that, they got to pay you. But in the NCAA, for some fucking crazy reason they've never been really able to articulate, they can't do that. Well, now they can. Now that gentleman can make the money for being on all these billboards.
But back me up on this one, Chris. Isn't this just the NCAA going, let's get this done and over with before they pass all of these bills?
Oh,
the federal law and make us look like the dumbest fucking people on earth?
Oh, yeah. They're being proactive because as soon as California passed it, there was 2 or 3 states already talking about passing a similar thing, and then Congress was even talking about doing it. So I think this was just the NCAA seeing the writing on the wall, and they did what they had to do. Smart move. I
was thinking more it was the Midwest pushing on the NCAA, because if you got California, and I know Florida was one of that was going to start that, where their players could get paid. And not for nothing, you have a lot of good schools in just those 2 states.
Mm-hmm.
So places like Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, Notre Dame, they'd all lose recruits, even legacy recruits. Even if they wanted to, quote, win a championship, to these schools where they could go and make money.
Yeah.
So I think it was twofold. I think it was the NCAA getting ahead of the game, and schools going, look, I'm not losing blue chip recruits because I can't pay them, but they can. That's unfair.
Well, it's a long time coming. I mean, how many careers would probably exist now if it wasn't for that stupid rule? Maurice Clarett would probably be in the NFL.
Oh, definitely.
Johnny Manziel might have not. Well, I mean, he had other issues, but you know what I'm saying? Johnny Football, got in trouble for what? Signing an autograph?
Well, I mean, even closer to home, Chris Webber.
Yeah.
How much did we have to vacate because of that? Reggie Bush and USC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Pete Carroll could go back to USC now.
Urban Meyer can go back to Florida.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's probably going to Notre Dame, but we'll get to that.
I laughed when this happened, and the first thing I thought of when I saw that all of this go down was you, because you were saying this way, way before there was even mention of being paid to play. You said, how can you not pay them? And you and me went round and round about that they're getting, scholarship, they're getting the best education paid for.
But the thing is not all of them are on scholarship.
Right. You're right.
But
we went round and round about it, and here you go. Somebody listens.
So I'll just say the red shirts aren't on scholarship. Those guys got to make room for essentially a full-time job in their life, and they're getting shit for it. They get to be on the team,
right? And don't even try to have a social life.
Yeah.
Well, I heard a good argument that they need to stop with this student-athlete bullshit because, let's be honest, if you're a high-level college athlete, that's what comes first, especially if it's in a money sport, a sport where you have a chance to move on, get drafted, and make a fucking killing playing professionally. I mean, obviously, if you're playing lacrosse or if you're, whatever, the track and field team, there's not a whole lot after college. Olympics? All right. Well, you better be like gold medal caliber to cash in on it.
Yeah, every half decade you get to do your job. Sounds great.
I'm going to say sometimes, because sometimes there are players that are exactly that, student athletes. As much as people hate him, Richard Sherman.
Yeah, but
once again, you're. I'm talking about the vast majority. You go hunting for the one fucking unicorn you can find, and you want to hold that up like somehow that negates my point. No, it doesn't.
I'll tell you my alma mater, Oakland University. They're in the NCAA. They've been in the tournament, but they are student athletes.
Yeah,
I don't think
exactly. So are the people at Navy and Army, but how many of them go on to fucking be superstars in the NFL or the NBA?
They're not. That's why they're student athletes.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Rich is talking about athletes that are lying and saying they're student athletes.
Superstars. Like superstars.
Yeah, like you think Tua's pulling all A's? Probably not.
Don't even get me started on Alabama right now. Nick Saban, way to fucking go, dumbass.
What do you mean? They're the number one team in the country.
Yeah, where's Tua?
Hurt? He'll be back for LSU.
But he's not gonna be the same. He hasn't been the same this year. He's been hurt for most of the year.
Burrows and Jalen Hurts are ahead of him on the Heisman, but
Alabama, he should have kept Jalen Hurts.
Alabama's got 22 Kookaroos. They're going to be fine.
He fucked Jalen Hurts, and that was terrible, but that kid took it in stride.
Yeah, now he's going to be the number one pick. He's going to shove it right up his ass. Tua has been... Alabama's still Alabama. Tua has been underperforming his expectations this year. I give you that one.
And I give you, Alabama is going to be just fine because it's Alabama. That all being set aside, I'm just saying it would be way more of Alabama if they had Jalen Hurts. And I'm so happy for that kid, except...
Even though he just lost to K-State?
Except for the fact that he came to Kansas and played K-State. Wow.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
That is all anybody's talking about here in Wichita.
I saw a headline that is pretty apt from the penthouse. Fuck, I forgot it. From the penthouse to the shit house. I forget what they said. Oh, it's late. But it was apt. From the penthouse to the basement, they went from number 3 to number 10? Or number 2 to number 10?
I think they were at 5. I think they were number 5. And they they fell. They're not in the hunt anymore.
K-State went and fucked around and got ranked. They're 23.
Yeah, dude, you beat the number 5 team in the nation. You deserve to get at least on the list.
Unless you're UCF 2 years ago. But I digress.
No, they put UCF on the list.
Last year. I'm talking about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they were undefeated and they couldn't get ranked. Remember, they were talking about we were the real national champs, and we were like, "Yeah, no, you're not."
And they proved that when they went and tried to play national teams and got fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
But anyway, we strayed into college football here, so let's talk about what happened in Ann Arbor. Rich,
I'm going to step aside.
Yeah, Rich, it's all you.
What happened? It was shitty weather. No one could throw the ball. They kept running the ball to the right. Notre Dame couldn't stop them. And yeah, I mean, like I said, this was essentially a Hail Mary to keep his fucking job. He had to win this game. And any Michigan fan that's like, well, he's earned my trust back. Really? Do we need to run down the list of failures in his 5 years? This is all that needs to be said. And then there's really nothing else that needs to be said about him. If when they hired Jim Harbaugh, they told you as a fan of your team, well, let's say he didn't get hired at Michigan. He got hired to be the head coach of your team. And they said after 5 years, you're not going to compete for a conference championship. You're going to be nowhere close to getting into the college playoffs. You're going to literally be 1-9 against your rivals. I guess it's 2-9 now. If you consider Notre Dame a rival still, considering the next time they'll play will be 2033. And no, that's not a joke. That's the next time Michigan will play Notre Dame.
Yeah, serious, take a little break for a decade and a half.
Yeah, and won't beat any ranked teams, can't win on the road. Would you be excited about that hire? Would you be like, this guy's going to do it?
No.
Okay, we're supposed to be talking national championship at this point. That's what he was brought in to do. And I don't care how much deflection that he does or his staff does or the boosters do or the PR department at Michigan does. That's what he was brought in to do. If you look at some of the best head coaches to come into dire situations, almost to a man in college football, they say in 5 years we're going to be in the national championship hunt. And more times than not, they are. That's all there is to it. And I mean, you can't deny that he was given a program on the upswing compared to what it was when Rich Rod left and Brady Hoke took over. It was a clusterfuck when Rich Rod took over. And it was a joke of a program. To the point where I told all my friends who were State fans, I said, you guys got at least 3 years. You better fucking get your winning in right now. because Rich Rod is a fucking joke. Never liked him as a head coach. Didn't believe in the spread offense. This is not a team built for it. Even when he recruited the guys that he said would work in the spread offense, Brady Hoke come in, implemented a pro-style offense, and had more success with these spread offense guys. I mean, you can argue that Michigan was slowly making forward progress under Hoke, where it was treading water to keep getting to shit bowl games under fucking Rich Rod. And in steps Harbaugh, the final piece of the puzzle, right? That's what he was sold as. We all heard it. And yeah, I gave him 2 years. Third year, I better start seeing results. And I wasn't seeing results. And then I started realizing this motherfucker doesn't answer a question. He deflects everything. Talking about, the loss before Notre Dame, talking about, his quarterback, he was playing so bravely. What? No, shut up. No, he fucking wasn't.
By the way,
he lost.
Can we all agree that the word brave has jumped the shark?
There's a lot of words that jump the shark in the sports world that they get overused. And just, he had to win this game. He did. Okay, great. All right.
Is Notre Dame I think it's the second top 10 team he's ever beat? He's beaten ranked teams, but I'm talking about top 10, like the people that will be in the playoffs.
I think he's only beat 2 teams ranked above his team since he's been with Michigan.
Because Notre Dame, until last week, they were 10, correct?
Yeah.
And then the only other one I'm seeing here was Penn State last year. Everyone else has been in the teens or the 20s that they've beaten.
I mean, 5 years, and this is his signature win?
Yeah, because that article was ranking his top 10 signature wins. And yeah, this is his number one was last Saturday. And
that's pathetic.
I enjoy it, Michigan fans, because there is no chance you're beating Ohio State this year. Not the way that team is playing. They're the number 2 team in the country. I believe it goes Alabama, Ohio State, then Clemson. Good fucking luck.
That might be the best Ohio State team in the last 20 years, 25 years. I'm not even exaggerating. It's going to take a miracle for it to even be close, let alone, I mean, it's going to take not just a miracle, it's going to take a miracle compounded with an act of God for Michigan to win that game.
Because, I mean, last year was the year, right? The revenge tour.
Mm-hmm. We all know how that game turned out.
What's this year? Good fucking luck tour?
I mean, look, this is what I said to a few of my friends who were Michigan fans that night when they beat Notre Dame. I said, enjoy it tonight, because no one thought they were going to win. All right. Not like this, especially like this. So enjoy it tonight. Wake up tomorrow and realize nothing's changed. You still have to play the remainder of your schedule. It's still going to take moving heavens and the earth. I don't even know if there is a situation that plays out that gets them into the Big Ten championship game. I don't think it's possible.
Penn State bus crashes
into the horseshoe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Penn State and Ohio State get in a car crash together.
And somehow the entire Wisconsin team was sitting in the stands at the same time.
What I can say is, from my now home here in Kansas, we have a year one coach right now. You might have heard of him, Les Miles, and I believe he's 2-3 in his first year. And I think they won all of 4 games last year, and he's beat people like Texas Tech. So, I mean, he's
it's Les Miles
doing him. Right, he's doing him. So when you look at Harbaugh and you're thinking he's the answer, well, maybe not.
There's no maybe in it, in my opinion. He's not. Look, I'll give the first year is a bye. All right. You come into a situation, unless you're taking over a national championship caliber team, I'm going to give you a mulligan on your first year. Your second year, there better be significant forward progress. By the time the third and fourth, but especially the fourth year, now you got your guys in there. Okay, you're not playing with guys that were recruited by another coach. You have the guys you went after, you wanted. What's your excuse? And year 5, the plan better be coming together. It better be in the final stages of coming together.
What's it, 5 years in, you've never contended for the Big Ten?
I mean, look at the U. Howard Schnellenberger took over. He said in 5 years we're going to be a national championship contender. That first season was not a great season. But 5 years later, they were a national championship contender. Then Jimmy Johnson came in. His first season wasn't all that great. But then they were a national championship contender. Then you had Dennis Erickson come in. All right. He basically came in, and he came into a situation where the players said, don't touch this fucking team. We know what we're doing. That team was running itself for a certain part of the 90s and late 80s. I mean, Jimmy Johnson was the last really, until you had, I can't remember his name, the coach they hired after they got popped with lost all their scholarships and everything. Butch, I forget his name. But anyways, long story short, these are Hall of Fame coaches. These are coaches that turn programs around that had no right to be turning them around. Yes, there's a lot of shady shit going on in the background, but I've already said dozens of times how I feel about that on this program. If you're in a winning program, there's shady shit going on in the background. That's all there is to it. There are NCAA violations happening somewhere, whether they be egregious or just, little piddly piss pot shit that the NCAA could get you on the hook for if they wanted to.
You bring up a good point without even thinking about it, Rich. Chris, with this new bill and the new vote that the NCAA have passed around, how long before players start taking money for boosters to go to the school and think that it's okay now because of this new law?
But you got to remember, this law isn't the school's going to pay the players. The law is the players can make money off their own likeness, and the NCAA doesn't revoke their eligibility status.
Yeah, Rich, but if a booster pays you, like $20,000 for your autograph, but they say with, under the table, who's to say under the table they didn't say, yeah, but you got to go to Bama or you got to go here,
First of all,
I mean, that's walking up to the line. I'll tell you that.
I'm gonna go ahead and quote shit. I can't remember the player, but he went to SMU, and Texas A&M was recruiting him, and they put a briefcase full of $30,000 in front of him, and he said he sat there and he looked at it for 30 seconds without saying anything, looked up and said, "All due respect, guys, that's not even close enough." And that was the early 80s. $20,000? Shit.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
You'd be lucky to get a long snapper for $20,000.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but dude, look, if a player wants to sell his autograph, let him sell his autograph. If EA Sports wants to put out a fucking video game that has, which they did, by the way, their college basketball game was the most guilty of this. They had everything down on a player's likeness, down to the tattoos they have on their skin, but they didn't have the players' names on there. They were essentially selling the player's likeness without having to reimburse them. That's illegal everywhere but in the NCAA. If someone literally scanned a picture of you and started selling it based on, selling something with you in that game, you have a right to sue to be reimbursed for your likeness rights. They didn't. That's all this is.
Yeah, like if your job starts using you as their spokesperson, they owe you money.
Because think about it. EA Sports was not paying the players to use their likeness. EA Sports was paying the NCAA to use the schools, the names, the mascots, etc., etc. The players were getting none of this money. Yet they were actually making players in the game that looked like photorealistic versions of the players that are out there playing. That's why they stopped making those games, because the players threatened to sue. And EA said, well, then fuck it, we'll take our ball and go home. Well, now what's going to happen is the NCAA is going to say, you got to pay us, but you're also going to have to pay the players. So that means probably EA is going to be like, okay, what's it going to cost us to do that versus how much profit are we going to make?
And I guess the inevitable question is, when does a players' union show up for the NCAA? Because with things like Madden, doesn't the game company pay the NFLPA and then they pay the players?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on how it works.
I know Mahomes isn't getting a check from EA Sports for Madden, right? It's paid through a different channel.
I think he gets, because he's a cover athlete, he gets the endorsement. He gets a check for that. Mm-hmm. But for being in the game, no, I think it's got to go through, like you said, the Players Association.
Yeah, like EA isn't sending out like 1,700 paychecks. I don't think so. I could be wrong though. So yeah, and then whatever. Michigan State, we're done. We'll see you next season.
Well, there's a whole lot of fucking people saying that this is D'Antonio's last season as head coach. I don't know if I buy it, but I mean...
And I say, really? Your best coach ever? We're just going to run him out of town for a bad season? Like, didn't he cross that threshold this year where he became their best coach ever?
I'm just saying, 2 bad seasons in a row.
Yeah, he hasn't had 2 bad seasons.
He only won...
They had a winning record last year. That was 2 years ago.
No,
that was 2016.
No,
the year where they shat the bed and won 4 games? Yeah, that was 2016.
I think the bigger problem is that his coaching staff has been an issue, and instead of cutting some people loose, bringing in some new blood, he literally just reshuffled his coaching staff, moved the same people around to different positions. And I think that's leaving a pretty bad taste in boosters' mouths when they're not seeing the results. Start putting, of that shuffle, putting wins in the win column. I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, I have no idea what's going on in the man's head. And to me, all this, basically force him to retire or threaten to fire him, all this talk, this should be music to that fucking program's ears, because he has built that program to look for any disrespect, whether real or imagined, and wear it as a chip on your shoulder and motivate you. And they're talking about firing their head, him as the head coach. It seems to me that's more than enough fuel to add to that fire.
Well,
why are they not tearing it up then?
Let's be honest. Before. We're talking about Michigan State. There's other pressing problems for them that have nothing to do with football program. Which I believe I saw that this week their former president is actually going to face criminal charges for that Larry Nassar incident. Which somebody should. But yeah, we're straying off the path here. But yeah, Michigan State. We'll see you next season.
Sportsy. ChristopherMedia.net.
It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, 2 legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're gonna fit sold.
Pop stars with auto-tune. And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, 2 legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Should we get to the pros, gentlemen? Unless there's anything else in college we want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so let's talk about the pros. Oh, Lions, you love to give your fans hope. Meanwhile, Danny Dimes was, I believe, statistically the best quarterback in the league last week. So great job on that, Lions defense. Woo! Yeah. Ice, you got any hope after Sunday?
I said my piece after the game that they lost last week. Not last week, 2 weeks ago. They're always going to be middle of the pack. They're always going to be middle of the road.
Trade deadline comes and goes. Nothing. We weren't on last week, but they traded away, Quandre Diggs, and the team was pissed. And
it was one of the best safeties in the league.
Yeah. There was two theories. Either that was the white flag, or we were making some salary room. And apparently that was the white flag.
Well, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with Slay.
Nothing.
Are they
going to
pay? Are they going to pay him the fucking big bucks that he's going to demand to stay in Detroit? I don't see that happening. So they're going to lose him for nothing.
Yeah, because he's just going to walk away after this season. They could have at least got something for him. Rumor was they were trying to get him to Philly, but that didn't happen. Yeah.
And again, the best corners in the league.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, whatever. Good luck with Oakland. If the Giants were competitive with you, because Oakland isn't the shit pile we thought they were going to be. They're not world beaters either.
Right, but at the same time, though, I mean, Jesus Christ, you went after a running back. Okay, so you didn't get Dante Freeman. Get somebody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah, rumor was, too, that Lions wanted Devontae Freeman, and Atlanta just kind of laughed at them and went, no, you can't have him. Which I told you, I'm glad we didn't get him. He's having a shit season. We take out enough of other people's trash ice. Like, this is not Devontae Freeman of 2015. This is Devontae Freeman of 2019. He is a very different player.
Totally agree with you, but get somebody. Get a good defensive back. Get a linebacker.
And that's where I agree with you. No moves at all.
Nothing. You did nothing. You focused all of your attention on Dante Freeman. Get somebody that's going to help you move further.
Le'Veon.
That's why
the Jets were trying to move Le'Veon Bell yesterday. Did you even make a phone call?
Probably not.
It's not like you don't need a running back, Lions. All right, the guy who's going to get you to the promised land, allegedly, is on IR till at least week 16. So he'll be healthy enough, long enough to lose 2 more games and then go back to rehabbing.
This whole thing just. If I'm a Lions fan, you know what this whole thing, not making any moves before the trade deadline tells me? You're happy with what you got. This is a stay put. We're going to be a 500 team. We're not going to go all in and try to get to the playoffs and make a difference in the playoffs. And you know what? Lions fans will sit and take it. Just keep taking it in the ass.
Yep.
That big blue Ford dick just ramming in and out till their asshole fucking falls out, and they just take it. That's what you've been trained to do as Lions fans. You have no other choice.
I have watched one game this year. It was the Monday night game. That's it. Everything else I'll see on Red Zone or I'll see the highlights. Is
the one they got fucked in.
Yeah. I've seen this movie before. I'll watch winning teams, or teams who at least want to win. A team who make no moves at the trade deadline, you don't want to win.
After losing to Green Bay like they did, they came out against Minnesota, and we would have won that one. But I swear to God, the guy in the stands who blew the wind that made the ball sail and threw the... I can't even finish that shit.
Yeah, it's...
No, they are who they are.
Yeah.
Where's Dennis Green when I need him? They are who we thought they were. They're the fucking Lions. They're always going to be the Lions.
Enjoy 6-9-1 Lions.
That mentality does not change. It will not change. I don't care who's in the front office, who's on the field. They're a middle-of-the-road team, and they're happy right there. People like Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, all of them, they get the big bucks. They don't have to play harder. They don't. They got to show up and just do what they're paid to do. Go out there and throw around and run, and if we win, great. If we don't, great.
If you're Calvin Johnson, you just give up.
Pretty much. Barry Sanders, all of them.
Oh, that's one thing that's just more demoralizing to me than like the I put win in quotation marks for Sunday is to get nothing at the trade deadline. Nothing.
If anybody says ever again that the Patriot way has been brought to Detroit, punch them in the fucking mouth.
No, you know what was brought to Detroit? The guys who were how do I say this here? The guys whose performance was waning in the Patriot culture.
Exactly my point.
Notice that defense looks a lot better without Matt Patricia running it.
The Patriot way, okay, and it still is today. If you don't do your job to the top of everybody's ability and everybody's expectations before the trade deadline day, you're gone.
Do your job.
They don't give a fuck. They don't care who you are, who you thought you were, what kind of superstar you wanted to be. You're fucking gone.
So
in Detroit, it's like, here, let me give you a whole bunch of money to just hold the bar firm.
Yeah, right. Hey, you want to be overpaid to be average? Come be a Detroit Lion.
Well, there's just I can't. Trey Flowers, he came from New England, and after that Monday Night Football game, you could see he was trying to keep that New England way of talking to the reporters, like, man, I didn't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. Because you could just see him going, this shit just didn't happen in New England. And then oh fuck, I forget the other line.
Have we lionized another person? God damn it.
But the other defensive lineman was just like, he was like exactly what you think. He's been lionized. He was just cussing and throwing shit and pissed off, and it's like not even an attempt to keep his composure. And it's like, there you go. This is what this team does to players.
Right. We got 5 former Patriots on the Lions right now.
I mean, the fact that we have a phrase called lionized should tell you everything you need to know. That is not complimentary.
When we've stolen the initials SOL and changed it to same old Lions, you're good.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time Tony Dungy used that he said it's SOL, and I can't remember who his partner was.
It was on Sunday Night Football. I remember watching that.
But his partner on the broadcast was like, because I'm like, first of all, if you think Tony Dungy's going to get on national TV and say shit out of luck,
you're an idiot.
You don't know Tony. Yeah, you don't know Tony Dungy. Okay. Second of all, nobody when they're talking to football anymore, when they say SOL, thinks shit out of luck. They all think same old Lions now. Yep. That is bottom line. There's no point in arguing. There's no point in discussing it. This is the truth. That's your identity to the rest of the NFL. That's it. And here's the deal: ownership doesn't care because they just cashed them fucking checks.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Fords.
And that was confirmed when that Calvin Johnson story in SI came out. That's all they give a shit about. Are we selling tickets?
And what's really fucked up is, like I said, Martha Ford came and told all the season ticket holders, you deserve a better team, and I'm going to provide it. Okay?
Great. Your last name's still Ford. That's the problem.
Anytime in the near future, before you die, would be great.
Sell that team. Get it out of the Ford family. That is the problem.
I know a couple of people in Detroit that would take it, have a famous last name, too.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, no.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon.
I mean,
you hope in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up first.
They own two of them.
Nah. I'd rather see Dan Gilbert own them.
Well,
yeah, it's
enough with the Lions.
Yeah, let's talk about winning teams. As we go right into the Washington and Minnesota matchup. Well, hey, at least we're not Washington, right, guys? Yeah.
Or Dolphins.
Why would we want 2 championships in the last 3 years?
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Rich hit us with the hard facts.
It happens.
It's true. But yeah, yeah, the Redskins. Yikes, man. Yikes. Minnesota, I mean, that offense is starting to look how I think it's supposed to look, but they got to beat real teams. Yes, you have Dalvin Cook. You have probably one of the best receiving cores in the league, but you got to beat real teams. Beating the Lions, beating the Eagles, or at least the Eagles this year, it's not gonna cut it.
Yeah. Did anybody learn anything from the Cowboys start? The Cowboys, they're on a tear. Who the fuck did they beat? And when they play real teams, what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Wah, wah. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, Dak Prescott, not for nothing, you were crying for a fucking contract. Son, you better hold on to your job.
Ice. Like, they're 500. Calm down. Yes, they've lost a few, but they're still a 500 team. I don't think Uncle Jerry's benching them just yet. But speaking of someone who might get... Well, no, not really. It's Seattle at Atlanta. Atlanta, ouch. I mean, it's... Matt Schaub throws for 460 yards and you still lose. Your defense is awful. That is the problem in Atlanta. Because Matt Ryan's been doing his job. Julio Jones has been doing his job. Devontae Freeman, not so much. But, I mean, this was a team that was in the Super Bowl, 3 years ago?
2, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they're going to fucking... they're going to be competing for... They're going to... What have they been calling it? Because it's going to happen... I believe Cincinnati and the Dolphins are going to be playing each other here in what's it called, the Tank Bowl or something like that. Atlanta's going to find themselves in the running for that shit. Seattle, I mean, Wilson's the man. That's about it. I see Seattle making the playoffs. I don't see them going far because Tyler Lockett's all right, but I don't know. Seattle isn't a complete team to me.
No, they haven't been in a long time.
Yeah. Philly at Buffalo. I mean, no surprises. The only surprise here is the Buffalo defense this year apparently is for real, even though they let 31 points by to Philly. But I think we all thought Buffalo was just going to be a flaming pile of shit this year, and they are not. But I guess
their heads above water, I guess.
Well, and the season they had last year, you can only go up, right? LA at the Bears.
Well, Nathan Peterman, come on, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The Chargers at the Bears. These two teams are awful. Chargers, I don't know. They fired Ken Wisenhunt. Maybe that's going to help. I mean, they got weapons. They got Gordon. They got Keenan Allen. They got Old Man Rivers. They got Hunter Henry. And the Bears. Ooh, ouch.
Are you calling Trubisky a bust yet?
I'm calling that whole offense a bust. You can have the best defense in the league. If nobody's scoring points, good fucking luck.
Yeah, they only lost by 1.
Yeah, but David Montgomery finally showed up after 9 weeks. Trubisky... who's he throwing to? I think that's half of his problem. Everyone's giving him a lot of shit, but at the same, who's he throwing to? Allen Robinson? That's your number one guy? After 8 weeks, I'm pretty confident the Lions could now split with the Bears. Just Chicago hasn't shown me anything to be scared of other than their defense, and even they're all banged up. Oh, here we go, Rich. Tampa Bay at Tennessee.
Oof.
Oof. That's it. That's all he's got to say, folks. Rich's one-word synopsis.
Ryan Tannehill. That's horrible.
Yeah, isn't this the 2015 bowl? Well, no, because it would have been if it was Jameis against Mariota, but
Yeah.
They benched him.
but yeah, it's as bad as Jameis looks. I mean, at least you're on the right side of history with that one, Rich, I guess. But
Yeah, but here's what I got to wonder. And this is... Are they sticking with him? Are they going to re-sign him? Are they going to give him record-setting amount of money and go, he's our franchise quarterback from here on
I'm
out?
going to go with no.
Exactly.
They better not.
And they have no one. They've drafted no one to groom. So when they do get rid of Captain Crab Legs, there, they got someone to step in. So what are they going to do? Here's what I'm afraid they're going to do. They're going to throw him money and they're going to re-sign him. And I'm like, why?
maybe he's a Florida boy, right? And he's playing in Florida. That might be why. As homery as that sounds, teams will do that shit.
Well, I don't understand that. I mean, I just don't. Unless he's going to give you a ridiculous fucking hometown discount and somehow step his game up.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he's shown a few signs of life here and there. He seems to be this season. He's under Bruce Arians. He seems to be a little bit more invested.
But his problem is
when it comes to crunch time, look what he does. He throws an interception to end the game.
He keeps getting picked. That's his issue this year. Like he said he threw for 301 yards Sunday, right? But what did he have? 3-4 picks? You can't do that.
Right, and if the Bucs don't resign him, honestly, where's he going to go?
Denver,
backup position.
Cincinnati, the Jets, Miami.
Yeah,
Hey, guys, remember, Chad Henne's still in the league.
that's true, too.
47-year-old Chad Henne.
I mean, he'll land on his feet somewhere as a backup, and who knows, he might even pull a Fitzmagic type, half a season out of his ass at one point before he retires. But welcome to your Jeff George-esque career, homeboy. I don't think you're going to be anybody's franchise quarterback after this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of that, Chris, when we were talking about Chicago and Trubinsky, the big thing that everybody's given Chicago shit about is what they gave to trade up for in the draft to get Trubinsky.
I saw that tweet. They gave up three picks that year, a pick the following year, and to trade up one spot to get Trubisky while Mahomes and Watson were still on the board.
Yeah.
How are you not burning down Soldier Field if you live in Chicago?
I'm saying, dude.
Denver and Indy. Looks like Indianapolis is a real team this year.
I'm going to go with still no. They may make the playoffs, but first round fodder at best.
I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl, but I'm saying they're. Again, this is another. We talked about a couple weeks ago when Andrew Luck retired. Us and the rest of the country left Indy for dead, and they're in first place. So we forget.
Yeah, but
they were a playoff team last year.
The Broncos are becoming dangerously close to looking like the Cleveland Browns in their quarterback situation.
How so?
Because it's a revolving door of quarterbacks, Hoss.
Oh yeah, which is ironic because Elway's in charge there.
Right. I mean, ever since the sheriff left, it's been...
Yeah. They've had a different quarterback every season since he's left. You are correct, sir.
And sometimes two.
Let's see, the Bengals and the Rams. Hey, Andy Dalton, happy birthday. Have a seat. He got benched on his birthday.
Yeah, and
that was kind of shitty.
See, I hear that, but then I'm like, dude, it's like breaking up with somebody for somebody else. There's no good time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they do it, well, they did it 2 weeks before Christmas. Would have been better if they did it 2 weeks after Christmas. You still found out you've been getting cheated on. You know what I'm saying? Like
it would have been better 2 weeks after Christmas because they ain't playing after Christmas.
Touche.
It's a business, man.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. And believe me, if he'd have taken over and been the new Tom Brady, no one would have cried for whose career he ended.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, this is the business you chose. Everybody here is supposed to be fucking professionals.
Oh, we're gonna get into this rant again when we get to Cleveland. But
so take it for what you will.
Mm-hmm. I would not mistake this game for the Rams showing signs of life. You beat an 0-18, and you still have no run game. Yeah, Gurley's still injured. Your starting running back was Darrell Henderson. Don't get excited, Rams fans. You played the bottom of the barrel last week. Arizona at New Orleans. Drew Brees said, "Fuck your bye week. I'm coming back now." And yeah, just picked up right where he left off.
Yeah, pretty much. Teddy Bridgewater, thank you. Now have a seat.
Throws for 373. Says, "Alvin who? I don't need him." I mean, everyone is talking about San Francisco coming out of the NFC, but I mean, keep an eye on the Saints, man.
I think this is Breeze understands that this is very likely his last push.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, your body's starting to break down. You can't even hold a football, and that's the reason that you were out for X amount of weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it did punch helmet, though.
Yeah, he did punch Aaron Donald's helmet.
but still, I mean, you don't heal as quickly at 40 as you do at 23.
Oh, God, no.
I will give you this. Punching a helmet, maybe hurt your thumb, doesn't always require surgery.
When you're 39, it might.
I'm saying. Rich brings up the point. His body's breaking down. Yeah, I hit a helmet and I need surgery on my thumb. Wouldn't happen at 24.
What people don't understand is, when your average lifespan is like what? I think it's 76 for the average American male. That's by the grace of medical breakthroughs that we live that long. Like, take away all the medical shit, people would still be dropping dead in their 30s and early 40s. Like, a lot of people. Your body is trying to die after a certain point. Okay? You're trying to stop it from doing that or at least slow it down to a crawl. Because in the end, you're going to die, homeboy. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it. But, I mean, and these guys, yeah, he's a quarterback, so he hasn't taken the beating that a lot of other players take on every single play. But he still has put his body through fucking hell compared to the average person. And like I said, I think Drew Brees is an intelligent, self-aware enough guy to realize I don't have many more seasons, and I might only have one more after this. It might be singular. I only have one more season. I better fucking make a push if I want to go out on top. And if that's what he's doing, and he's going to pull an Elway, go for it, dude.
Yeah.
Leave it all on the fucking field.
No, I definitely admire it. We've Chris and I have talked about sunsetting or not, or even at sunset, he's like a Brett Favre kind of guy. Even when the sun is set, he's still better than most of the starters in the league.
Amen. Can't disagree with you there.
Times ran out, but at the same time, he can still throw.
Yeah. Speaking of time running out, if you're the New York Jets, time is running out. Because Minshew Mania running wild all over you. I don't know if it's running wild, but looks like Gardner Minshew's a thing. It's
a definite thing.
Yeah. Jacksonville, I mean, probably first round fodder if they get there. Yeah. It looking like a wild card at this point with the division they're in. But I believe, no, wait. because I was looking at this. Right now, the AFC South is the most competitive division in football. Let me look at I believe all the teams, a 5-2, a 5-3, and 2 4-4s. That is the most competitive division right now. So, the division's still up for grabs. So, you never know. But, yeah, Jacksonville will probably be first-round fodder.
Well, I mean, also, I think we need to point out that Jets were considering trading Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. After they spent... I think they know it's over. I think that was a white flag moment for the Jets.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, 2 legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, 2 legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, 2 legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah?
Squirrel. We were talking about any news in the NBA because it was 5 games in.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Steph Curry is out indefinitely with the broken left hand.
There you go, Lakers.
Yeah, there it is. Warriors are done.
There you go. I wouldn't call them done. They still got, the other 4 people.
I don't know. Barkley said they're not even going to make the playoffs this year.
Well, they're not even going to make it without. They'll make it, but they're not going to make the championship without Steph.
They need Curry.
Steph demands 2 people on him at all times.
Yeah.
And that's just to try to disrupt his shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was just breaking just now. So
wait, while it was a squirrel moment for you, Ice, we're going to keep it in the Bay Area. Carolina at San Francisco. Think San Francisco's for real, guys.
No, there's no thinking about it. They got some shit together. Rich, you could tip your hat here and smile proudly because of who's in charge there. Mr. John Lynch.
No, I know. But I'm kind of over Richard Sherman looking to fucking for shit to be like upset about. Oh, if you said that we weren't shit before the season started, don't change your mind now. Aren't you a college-educated man who went to like an esteemed college? Don't you understand that new information, only an idiot doesn't change their mind based on new information that's come to light?
Right.
Like I get you're trying to be like, I got this chip on my shoulder, give me a reason to go out here and do my thing. But you just come off like an idiot when you say dumb shit like that.
Now, one thing I will
honestly.
Now, here's the thing. The Niners, at this point, have only beaten 2 teams that are over 500 at this point. Here was the first half of their schedule, right? Buccaneers, Bengals, Steelers, Browns, Rams, Redskins, Panthers. Here's the next half of their schedule. This is where we're really going to find out if they're for real. Cardinals, yeah. Seahawks, Cardinals again. Packers, Ravens, Saints, Falcons, Rams, Seahawks. So I only really see 3 guaranteed wins in there. I think that you could probably take to the bank. So, I mean, that puts you at 10-6, I guess, if you lose all those other. But I'd say the real test for San Francisco is going to be the next half of the season. Quite honestly, it's mostly division, and then the other the other games that aren't division are teams that are, quite frankly, doing well right now. Especially you have a hell of a run with the Packers, Ravens, and Saints all in a row. Ouch.
But yeah, and you're right about who they played and everything, but the people they played against, they didn't really struggle. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't close.
Yeah, I mean, they took it to the Rams. They took it to the Panthers.
When they played Washington, it was like 9-0.
What?
But that thing was so watered down.
Well, see, it was windy. It was rain.
He sacked the quarterback, he being Bosa, sacked the quarterback and then didn't run, but slid all the way to the sideline on his stomach.
The most points they've let by this year is 20. So, I mean, yeah, I think that defense is for real. I guess we will see.
Don't talk about defense being for real because you haven't gotten to the real one yet.
No, we're about to. Cleveland at New England.
There it is.
All right.
That is a defense.
Can I say this? I think Baker Mayfield's a little bitch. Did you guys see what happened today at that press conference?
I missed it.
He walked out of a press conference because he got asked if the Browns have a problem with urgency at the moment. So did somebody ask you a question about you doing bad at your job?
See, the question that I saw that made him go, "Are you fucking serious?" and walk away from the reporter, who apparently he's on a first name basis with, because he was like, "Are you serious, Tony?" As he walked away, so obviously he knows the reporter, was, "Were you happy with the outcome of that play?" And he goes, "What kind of question is it? No, we didn't put any points on the board. Of course I'm not happy with it. Are you serious?" And that's when he walked away. And I kind of would have walked away too. Like, what? Really? Like, I can him getting short about, urgency, and then he's like, "Well, we didn't want to give him the ball back with too much time, and you've never played, you don't understand." Usually when players go to that's them getting on their fucking high horse and talking down to a reporter. But for a reporter to be like, "So were you happy with the outcome of that series?" What? That is a dumb fucking question. No, they didn't score. Of course he's not fucking happy. Like, why would you ask that question just for any other reason than just to be an asshole?
Right. When you're trying to rub it in that you lost, fuck you. That's why.
And I mean, believe me, I've seen a lot worse behavior from guys during interviews. Ryan Leaf looking at you, Bobby Bonilla looking at you. We've had a couple here in Detroit over the years. It's not like Kirk Gibson was absolutely universally loved by the media.
See, I don't like this. He put this on Twitter today. He says, "Everyone wants to hear the truth until they actually get it. I am who I am, and I always have been. Don't call it emotional when it's convenient, and then passion when it fits. I care about winning, so yeah, I'm frustrated. If I was to act like it's okay to lose, then y'all would say that I've gotten complacent. My sense of urgency is at an all-time high. And if I offend anybody along the way, that's too bad." Wah. You can be Baker Mayfield, the factory worker, if you got a problem with it.
Yeah, but
Rich knows something about that, though.
But stop and be honest for a second here. All right, whether you like the guy or not, whether you like how he delivered the message or not, we all know, man, I got kids.
Oh, yeah, don't even.
Okay? We lived through the Joey Harrington era here, where he took losses way too much in stride. All right, if Baker Mayfield was acting like he just did not give a fuck after a loss, he's absolutely right. He'd be getting ripped apart. So, I mean, it's a fine line to walk. He hasn't figured it out. That's on him. I mean, I will say that. I don't know what else to say to the man. If for whatever reason I ran into him and he wanted to have this conversation, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
You know what, though? At the same time, I would spin it to a positive. Look, we scored 13 points on the best defense in the National Football League. These fuckers have let maybe 3 touchdowns in all season, and I got one in on them. Come on.
Here's the problem with the Browns. Here's the problem with Baker Mayfield. Here's the problem with that entire situation, in my opinion. They were so hyped in the offseason, and they embraced that hype. They loved that hype. They ran with that hype. Not one of those egomaniacs that were getting their egos stroked in the offseason ever fucking said in an interview, "We haven't played a game yet. Let's not plan the fucking Super Bowl parade just yet.
Yeah.
All right. So that tells me that they've really bought into their own bullshit. And when you do that, you risk this type of backlash. And by the way, let's be honest here. We as Americans love this type of shit. Love when people get overconfident and they get fucking their comeuppance and knock down 15, 20 notches.
Think he would send that woke up feeling dangerous tweet again if he could?
I think it would. God. Dude, I know this is going to sound like some Todd shit. Escaping the Cave with Toddzilla on the network here. Check it out at your leisure. But I really think social media is the worst thing that's fucking happened to humanity in the last decade.
No, I'm with you.
Absolutely.
I don't see much. What little good I see come out of it is so overwhelmed by the negative and the bullshit that comes from it. And I mean, in the sports world, it's just nothing but bulletin board material and setting yourself up to be looking like an asshole. That's all it really is.
The ego was not meant to be unleashed.
I'm going to go with you on that. And I've got to back up what Chris said. That team, it bought into their own shit, but they should have. They are set to win.
Yeah, maybe he's not that good. He has weapons.
I'm saying the second half of the season, Kareem Hunt is available to him.
Yeah.
Along with Chubb. Come on, man.
He's got two receivers that won a national championship.
With LSU. Sure did. And not for nothing, Landry ain't doing shit this year. You've got great defensive players.
Maybe you're just one of those guys you were great in college, but you're not that great in the pros. There's been plenty of you.
Many.
But at the other side of the ball, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Dear God.
Is this the year that 72 Dolphins are finally unseated?
I want to say yes because I love the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He does what he does. But that defense, man.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They are ruthless.
Is this where... Because I remember 2009 or 2000, whatever the year that, where the Giants fucked up their run. I remember that year going, this team could beat him, this team could beat him. But this year I'm going, good fucking luck, rest of the league.
No shit, dude. Seriously?
Because Brady is not the Brady of last year. Like, I don't know if he got a blood boy in the off season. Like, he's been airing it out this year.
Man, that defense, though. Good God. Even the Teddy Bruschi defense with Harrison and all of them, I don't think they could beat these guys, man.
Keep in mind, there's no Gronk. They are this dominant without Gronk.
They're this dominant without Gronk, and they're this dominant having weathered the bullshit storm that was Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
And it didn't even phase them.
They didn't even miss a step, man. They didn't even stumble.
Literally, someone tried to leg sweep them while they're doing the fucking Harlem Shake, and they just kept going, never missed a beat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, dude. Yeah, here's the thing. And the only thing I can say about New England, God, you never know what you're going to get in the playoffs. I did not think the Giants were going to beat them in that Super Bowl. I didn't. I just didn't. I wanted them to because I wanted them to fucking. Sorry, you're a little too big for your britches. You're a little too cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been a huge Randy Moss fan to begin with. And even though Randy Moss was on his best behavior that season, it was still like, oh, God. Yeah, you got one of the best that ever did it throwing to you. You better set some records, you simple fuck. Why don't you go run over another security guard while you're high?
Oh.
Stupid ass.
You got mossed.
Here's the thing, man. They are so like caged lions that haven't been fed all week. And they come out of that fucking tunnel hungry as a motherfucker. So I don't know who can beat them. I really don't. Because that ball is like a piece of meat. Mm-hmm. They're hitting harder. They're not. They're faster. They're not giving any cushion to the receivers. I mean, soon as a receiver touches the ball, sometimes before, and the defensive man's right there fucking him up. And he's not just grabbing him and hugging him. he's fucking slapping pads. You can hear their hits. And obviously Tom's doing what Tom does with Edelman and everybody else on the field. And it's funny because the more people that get hurt, the more people he makes known to the league.
That's what he does.
Yeah, Burkhart went down, and his starter, Brady's starter, what's his name?
Tony Michelle?
No, Dorsett. Philip Dorsett was questionable.
The third string receiver? The number 3 guy?
Yeah, but he's become Tom Brady's primary long target.
When he plays, he's been on the bench for half the season.
Right. And this other kid, Jacoby Myers, he's throwing to him too now. He does what he does, man. And now he's got Mohamed Sanu. I mean...
Sorry, Kansas City. NFL goes through New England at this point.
Well, yeah, because they also were without Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, we'll get to them. We got one more game before we do. Oakland at Houston.
Sorry, Houston.
Yeah, Houston's broken. Well, now they really are. They lost J.J. Watt.
Yeah,
look,
pectoral.
Yeah, and still, they need a running back. They need a running game, all right?
In a bad way.
This ain't 2012. Carlos Hyde ain't getting you to the promised land. I think that what my takeaway from this game and from the last few weeks is Oakland's not the big pile of shit we thought they were going to be.
They can make a run for the middle of the road, but that's about it.
It just makes me wonder if they wouldn't have cut AB, what kind of situation they'd be in right now.
Well, that's only half their problem.
Yeah.
Don't forget, they also traded the best linebacker in the league.
Dude, get over it. That was last year.
Yeah, but I am over it, but they haven't replaced it. That's fine. Let them go. Great. Who are you coming in with? Nobody. What?
Yeah. Another problem is also, too, they have their quarterback. Yeah, maybe this is where Jameis goes, Rich. Maybe he ends up in Oakland.
Oh, God.
And then the Sunday night game, Green Bay at Kansas City. Kansas City, 1-3 at home this year.
Yeah, and one of the hardest stadiums to win in.
If you're the home team, apparently.
I'm just saying, man, Arrowhead gets loud. I understand Seattle and the 12th man and all that good shit, but the Arrowhead is loud.
All right, so are you guys ready to take Green Bay off life support yet, or what? Are we done with this rebuilding nonsense?
Green Bay?
Yeah, the one thing we forget about last year is Rodgers was hurt like the whole year. This year they got healthy Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is doing his best Tom Brady this year because he's got a pile of scrubs to throw to. And it just seems like
it makes him look like a diamond.
Yeah, since Devontae Adams has went out, he just picks a guy and makes him the star of that game.
Look, Aaron Rodgers is the epitome of Drew Brees, where a sun will set, but goddamn, they can still throw. But he does it better, man. He can throw in the tightest of windows I've ever seen. His accuracy is second to none, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, oh, God. And look at the rest. Green Bay's coming out of this division. You want to hear the rest of their schedule? Chargers, Panthers, Niners, Giants, Redskins, Bears, Vikings, Lions. Might as well just pencil them in for the division now.
Well, yeah. Doesn't mean they're going to go far in it, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I just find it because you guys and, everyone else in August, Green Bay's rebuilding. Yeah, this is it. Okay, cool. We're halfway through. They're 7-1. They just beat the Chiefs. They're the team that started the downward spiral. At least the current one that's going on for Dallas. I mean,
I'm still going to hold them at, okay, you're a playoff team. Good job. You have nobody but Rodgers, and you made it to the playoffs. Yay for you. Because the people they have beaten, they've had help from referees, and people have been hurt. Key people have been hurt on the teams they've beaten, i.e. Kansas City.
You know what? None of that means dick in January, sir. When they're seeding the playoffs,
no, it means everything.
No, it doesn't. When they're seeding the playoffs, they don't give a fuck about that. Mm-hmm. They're going by W's, sir.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying they're not going to make it far in the playoffs because everybody will be healthy and the ref will be on top of everything. They better be after the shit they pulled last year.
Fine. Ice, that's fine. Let's say they lose. They're still 6-2 if they lose that Lions game. in the rest of their schedule, I see them going 13-3. Quite honestly,
I'm saying, I'm not arguing with you. They're going to be in the playoffs, but it's going to be a different time when they go into the playoffs. They're not going to have it as easy as they had it here. Do you think if Patrick Mahomes was in this game would have been like this?
maybe.
It was 31-24, Chris.
You forget Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. It's not like the Chiefs played the Bengals.
Dude, he had more.
If anyone could outplay Mahomes, I'd say it could be Aaron Rodgers.
Well, no, Tom Brady could beat him too. I mean, any given Sunday. All of that aside, he went toe to toe with Tom Brady.
And lost.
I think barely by a coin flip. He lost by a coin flip.
Dude, you need to get this stupid moral victory bullshit out of your head. There are two.
I'm not calling it a moral victory.
There is a W, L, and a T column in the standings. That is it.
And I understand, but if the Chiefs won that coin toss,
well, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. If.
Okay. So either way, I think the Packers will make it to the playoffs. I do not see them to make it into a championship game in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not coming out of the NFC. You gotta go through New Orleans and you gotta go through San Francisco. I only see them going through one of those teams. That's just me.
I don't see them going through either one. Honest.
By the way, real quick, since we brought up San Francisco again, because I forgot to bring this up. You know who the AFC and NFC Defensive Players of the Week were, right?
Richard Sherman and who else? Tevin Coleman.
The Bosa boys.
Oh, really?
Joey Bosa for the Chargers and Nick Bosa for the 49ers. That's going to make for some interesting Thanksgiving conversation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, has there ever been brothers who won Player of the Week awards in the same week? Like, that you guys remember?
Did Peyton and Eli ever do it?
I don't know.
Because they were in opposite conferences the whole time.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, well, Rondé and Tiki Barber.
Maybe the Barbers? Yeah, the Barbers.
Because, Rondé was a cornerback and Tiki was a running back, so, I mean, they could conceivably do it. And then the Manning brothers, I can't think of any other.
The Kelsey brothers. Travis on KC and his brother plays for Philly.
But yeah, I just want to say real quick, even though I shat on Richard Sherman earlier, kind of, not really, but kind of shat on him. I do agree with him when he's like, fuck Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nick Bosa needs to be in talks for Defensive Player of the Year.
No, he really does, and he's a rookie.
Yeah. That's what Richard Sherman was getting at. Like, don't fuck his rookie status. Put him in the conversation for the fucking all-around Defensive Player of the Year.
That's a hell of a point because he could be. That cat doesn't play, man. He is quick, he is strong, and he is agile. I was watching him, and like I said, after he sacked a quarterback, cat just started swimming in the mud field that was, that they were playing on. But that cat is bad.
Well, he
reminds me a lot of Michael Strahan.
I'm trying to think of, hold on. Yeah, it was the 49er game. It was the 49ers game against Cleveland where after the game, everyone was like, yeah, Nick Bosa was just standing there staring at Baker Mayfield going, Baker.
No. He sacked Baker.
Yeah, and then he did the whole plant the flag thing.
The flag.
Yep.
No, but he was like doing the whole Warriors come out to play, like to him right to his face, like over the lineman, and I'm just like, that's some balls for a rookie, man.
That's some longest yard type shit.
That's the chip he carried from the Ohio State game when they all ran off the field and Baker stuck the flag in the middle of the O. They ain't gonna ever forget that shit. I knew from the moment that game was set, I'm like, Baker better go hide, man. It turned it into unnecessary roughness. Run behind the referee talking about blow the whistle.
Oh Christ!
And speaking of bad, but not bad meaning good, bad meaning bad. Monday Night Football. The Dolphins at the Steelers.
Oh,
in 1984, this was a great game.
Yep. Sure was. Dan Marino, looking at you.
In 2019, ew.
And then some. Randolph.
Rudolph even.
Whatever. Just saying, man.
I was going to say Randolph. Is Mortimer coming too? What is this, fucking trading places?
Yeah, right?
Feeling good, Lewis. But, yeah, anything to talk about in this game? James Conner's injured.
Fitzmagic looked good.
Yeah, I didn't want to say, I know it's ludicrous recommending the player, but can we get a gold jacket for the man's beard?
The best ever was when he was with Tampa Bay and came out looking like the UFC fighter. Conor McGregor.
Oh, God.
It was hilarious because he did. He looked just like him.
But for the first quarter, Miami was world beaters. And then Mason Rudolph went, oh, shit, there's a game today.
Mike Tomlin was like, are you going to play today or am I going to put you back up? I got it, coach.
Yeah.
Let me get my helmet. Damn it.
Well, Juju made it. He made a hell of a catch. Come on. I mean, there was a few moments of like, oh, okay, like in that game. It wasn't the worst game I've ever seen.
Juju Smith-Schuster is like the guy like covered up by all the all-stars that were on Pittsburgh. Nobody paid any attention to Juju.
Yeah, he needed, as much as he bitched about AB, he needed AB. Because that's how he was getting fed. Now that he's the guy, nope, not happening.
One of those situations, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Oh, now you're the guy getting double teamed. So yeah, there you go, kids. Week 8. Shall we get into week 9? Make these picks, call it a day?
I'm there.
But before that, though, I just want to say this is my squirrel moment. So apparently, what was it? Joel Embiid, or is it Joel Embiid?
It's Joel Embiid.
It's Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid. Okay, whatever. Yeah, he got into a scrap tonight, and post game he was asked about it. And he come back with his best first line in a battle rap song. Well, first of all, I ain't no bitch. That's his comment on the slap boxing fight that went on in the NBA. Anybody who watches hockey is like, that's a fight. That's two girls slapping each other. That's what that is. They're fighting over the last tampon. Get the fuck out of here. Ain't no fight. But yeah, I just like
you want to see a fight? 1990. Go to watch those videos.
I just like it. Well, first of all, ain't no bitch.
Classy. Sure, his mom's watching at home going, that's my son. I didn't raise no bitch.
Exactly.
Well, if you also want another squirrel moment from the NBA, Houston Rockets and the other, I don't remember who it was, the Wizards, 159 to 158.
Whoa.
Right.
Did defense, just nobody played defense in that game?
Who said defense is dead in the NBA?
Yeah.
159 to 158. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Did the offense just sit there and shoot threes until they made it?
Was this an all-star game?
Yeah.
Right.
They playing around the world?
Was this Kobe's last game where they just left it open to take shots?
Other than the massive scores that were ran up, the other reason I bring that up is Westbrook. He's on that team now. It's the second triple-double of the season, and they're only 5 games in.
Cool.
Harden and Chris Paul are not going to stand for that too much longer. I'm just saying. Well, fuck it if they win.
So what you're saying is, catch him on the court and he's trouble. Fucked around, got a triple-double. As the warrior poet Ice Cube once said, If the day does not require an AK, it is good. All right, let's get these. Needs to go to what?
Rap concert. You've quoted rap like 4 times this episode.
Oh, you missed my rap and karaoke debut at the Halloween party. Yeah. They fucked up. They threw on some Eric B. and Rakim, and I fucking was like, give me that mic.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
And I got done, and everyone was like, oh, shit. Do another one. I'm like, that's the only song I know.
Went on a high note. Like, that's it. Good night, everybody.
Exactly. Leave them wanting more.
Drop?
All right. So, week 9. Man, we're already over half over. What the hell?
You still got the playoffs.
We wait all year for this. God damn it. All right, so Thursday night game. Well, it's no movement because all picks made were null and void. Rich, you didn't pick that week, so we're not going to hold it against you. So we're still at, you guys are tied at 616 percentage. I'm at 558. So yeah, you guys can duke it out for the order we pick in, I guess.
I don't give a shit.
Well, since I fucked up last week, I guess I need to fucking take the hit and go first. And yeah, we'll go me, Ice, and Chris.
All right. TNF. In Arizona, the Niners taking on the Cardinals.
Oh, Niners.
Oh, most definitely the Niners. Edwards is hurt. They're done.
Edmonds. I think this is probably the first time in this show's history where we've all made a unanimous San Francisco pick. Just putting that out there. Or picked them at all, besides Rich. Next, the Sunday slate, the final London game of the 2019 season. Houston heading to Jacksonville. Playing Jacksonville. Bah. It's technically like half a home game for Jacksonville, right? You know,
it really is.
Everyone
in years
pretty much
past when they've been over there?
Well, to everyone, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion when their lease is up at their stadium or whatever. They're out.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. Their owner, Khan, the rumor is he's been wanting to get them overseas for years now. Mm-hmm. So
that would suck. Have to travel overseas and play the Jags.
Give me the Jaguars.
Oh, snap!
What?
He said it.
I didn't stutter.
He said Minshew magic.
No, I got it. I think you're still hungover though. No, Texans. Minshew is not going to beat Deshaun Watson.
What do you think my name is, Earl? I don't get hungover off 3 beers.
Just saying. Been a minute since you had some.
I had to drive that night.
Well, Rich, you can get yourself you get yourself some shades and a comfy little beach chair for that island you're going to be on. I'm taking
me and Wilson. We're the only ones on this island.
Taking the Texans. Next up, the Redskins heading to Buffalo.
Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, definitely Buffalo. If you'd have went Redskins, I'd have hung up.
No, I was like, is there any way I see the Redskins winning this? No, Buffalo. Yeah. That was how my thought process went on that one.
Yeah, give me Buffalo. Probably another first. Probably the first time all 3 of us have picked Buffalo.
It's not because we like Buffalo. It's we can't pick the Redskins. They don't even have a coach.
Let's see. This week's Shit Bowl.
Ain't got nothing.
No, skip over the Shit Bowl's that game after. Minnesota at Kansas City.
Give me the Chiefs.
I'm trying to find a way to follow you, Rich. I really am. I really, really am. They've only won one home game. They don't have Mahomes. Their defense sucks.
And on the other side of the coin, it's Minnesota.
Well, on the other side of the coin, it's you
Dalvin.
like that.
It's Dalvin Cook. It's Adam Thielen. Stephon Diggs.
I can't.
It's not rocket science, man. Pick a team.
I can't pick them. I can't pick them. I've got to pick Vikings. I have to.
Yeah, me too. For everything that you said, too, by the way. All right. Here comes the shit bowl. The Jets at Miami.
Ooh.
Are we picking who's going to actively try to lose the most?
No, we already did that with Washington and Miami. Miami lost.
Jesus. Well, Miami did pick up Talib.
Yeah, who's on IR.
Yeah, I wonder if he took a hammer to his own foot when he found out he got traded to Miami. He was like, I got traded where? Hand me that hammer real quick.
You're not going to want to see this. Turn away.
I don't fucking know. Give me Miami. I can't picture either team wants to win this.
I can't either, but they got Bell, and that's better than 90% of the Miami Dolphins. So, Jets.
Oh, Ice, it's time for you to get a beach chair.
You're going Dolphins?
They're at home. For some reason, I made a bold prediction about this on the Fantasy Football Podcast, too. I don't know why. I just think that the Dolphins are going to win this week. Give me the Dolphins.
With Fitzmagic.
Hey.
Fitztragic.
You don't get a name like Fitzmagic by losing games.
There's a flip side to that coin, Fitztragic.
I know.
Okay.
Next up, Bears at the Eagles.
God. See, I try to be fair, and I make myself go first, and I'm fucking myself because I'm just like, I don't even fucking know. Give me the Bears.
Bear down. Yeah, well, unfortunately, their offense sucks. Their defense is hurt. And the Eagles have kind of righted the ship a bit. But I think it's going to be enough to win at home, so give me the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles' offense is tepid as it is at least an offense. Taking the Eagles. Indy at Pittsburgh.
Give me Indy.
I can't. Okay. All right. Colts.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Pittsburgh, you've given me nothing to believe in, so why should I pick you? All right, the Titans heading to Carolina.
Give me Carolina.
Are you actually thinking about this, Ice? They have Christian McCaffrey.
I thought he was just continuing to eat to Mike.
Tennessee has nobody.
They got Ryan Tannehill.
They got Derrick Henry, depending on the week.
They got... Right. But Carolina, all they have is McCaffrey.
And it's been good enough for them. They are in first place in their division.
At 4-3.
Hey, first is first.
All right, I'm going to go with the pressure. I'll go with the Panthers, but...
Here we go. The Lions heading out to the black hole.
Did you pick the Panthers?
I did. Really? All that talk, you really think I was going to pick the Titans?
I did read an interesting stat about the Raiders running back. He's the quickest to as many rushing yards in the first 7 games out of anybody who's ever played that position for the fucking Raiders. That includes Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson. Some decent company. Mr. Josh Jacobs, 620 yards in 7 games. I don't know if that's going to help him against the Lions, but fuck it. Lions are heading to the West Coast. That usually doesn't fare well for them. Give me the Raiders.
There's many teams in many different ways that can beat the Lions. Raiders, not one of those teams. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, you made the Giants look competitive. Give me the Raiders. Tampa Bay at Seattle.
Seattle. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if it was at Tampa Bay, I would be like, and then I would say Seattle. But since it's at Seattle, I'm just going to go Seattle.
Yep, Seattle. Cleveland at Denver.
Oof.
Yeah, gross.
This is gross. Yeah, give me Denver.
Okay, give me the Browns.
Cleveland's at least going to have their first string quarterback. Give me the Browns. I don't feel good about it, but give me the Browns. Green Bay heading to L.A. to take on the Chargers.
Green Bay.
Sorry about your luck there, Phil. Yeah, give me the Packers.
Yep, same here. Yeah, Chargers, are you ever really at home? You are a Los Angeles football team. I've heard people say that they play 16 road games a year. It's probably accurate. New England at Baltimore, the Sunday night game.
New England.
Oh, the Patriots. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Jackson, better be careful where you're running, sir. He's paralyzed.
I was going to say, that defense is going to paralyze him and then start singing, "Sorry, Miss Jackson." Woo!
Yeah.
Grab that motherfucker's socks.
Get his socks. Yeah, give me New England. There's nothing. Baltimore, they're good, but I mean if we had a lock of the week, it would be New England every week this year until further notice.
Yeah, I was going to say until someone proves they can fucking get over on New England. I think you're foolish to fucking pick against them.
Yeah, unfortunately,
show me.
You got to stop Brady first of all, and once you stop Brady, then you got the fucking beast that is their defense.
Yeah.
Twice in a week. I'm like homeboy from the Alabama Leprechaun thing. I want to go. Show me to go.
Give me to go.
Show me the team that can beat New England. That's what I want. Show me.
All right. And then the Monday night matchup. Dallas Cowboys heading to the Meadowlands. Taking on the Giants.
Did you hear Colin Cowherd's take on Zeke? Just real quick, I meant to bring this up earlier and I completely forgot about if he won't accept a team-friendly contract, that they should just let him walk.
If you want to accept a what?
A team-friendly contract. In other words, if he tries to bleed the Cowboys for as much money as he can get, to where it's gonna handcuff the team as far as who they're able to sign otherwise, that the Cowboys should just let him walk.
Oh, I talk about Dak or Zeke.
Zeke.
Zeke got paid. Zeke got his money. Zeke got paid at the beginning of the year.
Wait a minute, maybe
He's probably talking about Dak.
Sorry, I thought it was the other way around. My bad. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, one of those guys, and I was just like, wow, that's who? Well, I mean, either way, who the fuck you got to replace him?
Yeah.
Well, the draft's coming up.
Yeah,
and that's going to do them a whole lot of
Jalen
good.
Hurts.
Yeah, they've already won more than one game, so they're not getting any of those. Dallas ain't picking in the top 10.
Well, you could call Chicago and figure out how to trade up for him.
I don't think it's Chicago. You think Hurts is going to be on the board at that point?
No.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If Hurts keeps playing like he's playing, he's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
So we're all taking the Cowboys?
I'm
Yes,
taking the boys. Danny Dimes is done.
I'm taking the Cowboys, yeah.
What do you mean done?
Yeah.
He just had his best performance of the year against the Lions last week.
It's done. You can't even beat the Lions. You're done.
Alrighty.
Although they do have Barkley.
Yeah. All right. The one college game out, Michigan State's on bye again because we're in this weird leap year thing with the football playoff, and there's only 14 college games this week. But Michigan's playing Maryland. Hey, should I just type in Michigan for all of us, or
Michigan better fucking win. Coming off that Notre Dame game, yeah, they better fucking win.
Yeah, after rickrolling Notre Dame and then trying to even make it competitive to the Terrapins, stop it.
I could totally see them losing.
Here's the
Call
thing.
it a trap game?
I can't put it past them to lose. And I know that I have no faith in a Harbaugh-led team. Period. Like, there's just been too many big losses, too many scares, too many what the fuck just happened situations. Seriously, I was only half joking when I said they better beat Rutgers. I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know. That team, their mind is somewhere else besides on football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but nobody saw him housing Notre Dame, though.
No, not like that. Even the most diehard fucking slappy Michigan fan who was picking Michigan over Notre Dame wasn't picking that final score. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, they were hoping for a missed extra point or something.
Yeah.
Fucking 48 points. What the?
And then this week they'll score like 3 against Maryland.
They're still celebrating their win.
Yeah. All right. Well, picks are in. Week 8's done. Week 9. Staring at it straight in the face. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore because I'm tired. So I'm just going to wrap up the show. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at Sporgy Podcast. Sporgy Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net is the email. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, that's where we're at. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, iHeartRadio app, ChristopherMedia.net. There's this thing called CastBox that is all of a sudden giving us a whole bunch of downloads. Not complaining, but just says if you can listen to a podcast, we are there. So, yeah. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net. It's the divisional round, and you can follow all the action at BetOnline.net. On Saturday, LA visits the frozen tundra of Green Bay, while Baltimore and Buffalo face off with their electric third-year quarterbacks. On Sunday, and after winning their first playoff game in 26 years, Cleveland meets last year's champs. In the late game, two legendary future Hall of Fame QBs square off as Tampa visits the Big Easy. Check out all the action this week at BetOnline.net as teams take one step closer to the championship. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit BetOnline.net today. Bring the game home at BetOnline.net.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.